The news has, of course, been all over the place for the last few days between the situation unfolding in LA, Donald Trump's authoritarian takeover, and the ongoing feud of Trump and Musk, and let's not forget the drama surrounding the budget bill. But there was also another thing that happened that definitely needs a little bit more attention, at least far more than it received. And that is the decrepit, aging, elderly, physically falling to pieces Donald Trump tripping on the stairs of Air Force One. That happened on Sunday as Donald Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio were boarding the plane. Donald Trump fell and Rubio came tumbling after. But I will show you the clip. Before I do that, a quick message from today's video sponsor. First, Elon Musk gutted federal agencies. Then he slashed public services. Now, his people are fighting to keep their corruption under wraps. But a federal judge ruled Musk's alleged Department of Government efficiency is not exempt from open records laws. Judge Christopher Cooper made it clear that the Trump administration completely failed to argue against the fact that DOJ is acting with massive unchecked power. Ground News analyzed dozens of sources covering this from across the political spectrum. And comparing coverage, you'll see how some spin this as a partisan issue while others call it what it is, proof of corruption. Same story, different spin, and exactly why you can't blindly trust the first headline you see without knowing the biases behind them. That's why I've been relying on my partners at Ground News for a long time. If you like my show, you'll love how their app and website lets you compare coverage with context on each source's political bias, credibility, and financial incentives. This way, you're not just taking one source's word for what's happening, you're seeing past the layers of selective reporting shaping your worldview. Billionaires and political agendas are controlling more and more of our media, deciding what they want us to see and think. Ground News, on the other hand, it's independent, it's nonpartisan, and only committed to helping us think critically about the stories shaping everything from public opinion to public policy. And since I can't track everything Trump and Musk are doing or undoing alone, I've curated feeds that track them for me, from credible sources, to make sure I'm giving you all the most reliable information. And now you can too, for nearly half the price. Go to ground.news/Farron to get the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I use for just $5 a month. Take back control of how you stay informed today. The link is in the video description.
Morristown, New Jersey, just away from his Bedminster Trump resort there. Of course, he was talking and asking about those National Guard troops that were deployed to Southern California amid the anti-ICE protests. You can see there President Trump boarding Air Force One here on Live Now from Fox on this Sunday. And we'll get the other side of it as well. At Camp David, we'll see any remarks. You can see Secretary of State Marco Rubio also on hand for this.
I mean, seems like maybe somebody ought to wipe down the stairs so they're not so slippery. But here's the thing, because I know a lot of MAGA people, or even just people who kind of don't really want to take a side on things, they'll probably look at that and say like, oh, obviously if Marco Rubio also slipped, this isn't a Trump thing, this is a step thing. And to that I will say, watch the clip again. Watch how tightly Donald Trump is gripping onto that handrail the entire way up. It's not just the slip, it's the fact that he is unsteady on his feet, and he knows it to the point where he does have to have that death grip on that handrail. Rubio had a much looser grip. So you can see the difference between those two men, and Rubio slipped slightly, Donald Trump slipped greatly. Didn't fall flat on his face, but came very close to it. So I disagree with anybody who says, well, the steps were just slippery, could have happened to anybody. No, you look at the grip Donald Trump had on the handrail, that's a man that knows he is unsteady on his own feet. Secondly, same thing happened to Biden. However, interestingly enough, when the same thing happened to Biden, every media outlet covered it. Left, right, center, doesn't matter. They all covered Biden falling on the stairs of Air Force One. Right? That was big news. Obviously, Biden's not in good shape. Something's wrong with Biden. Could this be the mental problems? Is this physical problems now catching up with the mental problems? What are we going to do? Clearly, he can't serve as president because he's tripped on the steps. It's something that Donald Trump has recently posted on social media. Like in the last month, Donald Trump once again pointed out that Biden fell on the steps of Air Force One. So for the media to make a big hoopla about it when it was Biden and then almost totally ignore it when it was Trump, that's not okay. That is, in fact, by definition, that's a double standard. That's what that is. If it meant Biden was decrepit and falling apart, then it means Trump is decrepit and falling apart. Let's not forget, when Trump was sworn in, he was older than Biden was when he was sworn in. Which means when Trump leaves office in 4 years, he will be the oldest person to be leaving this office. He also comes from a family with a history of dementia. All of these are bad signs, and all of these signs keep getting amplified for the American public to see. That is the story. It's not just one event. If Donald Trump had exhibited no cognitive symptoms and then tripped going up the steps, I wouldn't be talking about it here. If we hadn't seen other, physical abnormalities with Donald Trump, including his ability to stand, his inability to drink a bottle of water, I wouldn't be talking about this story right now. You don't look at the one piece of the puzzle and make your judgment based on that. You put the pieces together and look at the bigger picture. And that's what we have to do with regard to Donald Trump's health. This is a man who is not well mentally or physically. His doctors love to lie to us and say he's the healthiest person I've ever seen on his diet of KFC and McDonald's. That's not physically possible for a human being that doesn't exercise at all. And definitely not possible for a human being who is on blood thinners and cholesterol medication because of that horrific diet. We know the medication list betrays the medical report, as I've said numerous times. But this event, Trump tripping on those stairs, was not just a ha-ha moment. This was there's something deeply wrong with him and the media is still ignoring it moment. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.